When we last heard from Nicky Rod, we heard this.
I want a bet match, Mr. Gordon Ryan.
But ever since this challenge was issued, there's been a lot of people online saying Gordon's never going to take this match. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because if Gordon doesn't take this match, then what is next for Nick Rodriguez? Guys, this is Sean with PDMA, and today I've got 3 potential opponents that I think we could realistically see Nicky Rod going against, especially if this Gordon match doesn't come to fruition. Now, when I decided I wanted to make this video, Gordon had recently posted about how he's having more health issues, he's not taking any matches soon, so I figured the Nicky Gordon match was kind of dead in the water. However, as luck would have it, literally 5 minutes before I went to go record this video, I was finalizing a bunch of my research that I was doing, and Gordon Ryan posted on Instagram saying that he would take on Craig Jones and Nicky Rodriguez in the same match for either $1 million total or $1 million from each of them for $2 million. You guys can go read that post. I'll link it below. So it kind of threw my whole video off. But I think we're still going to approach this video the same way that I was going to. You know, these guys like to talk a lot on the internet, for better or for worse. You know, that's just what they like to do. So who knows how realistic this is. And, you know, Nicky Rodriguez is willing to put up $1 million to fight Gordon. So I'll be a betting man here. And if I had to put my money in if this match was actually going to happen or not, for a multitude of reasons, I'm still going to just assume it's not happening. So we're going to go on with the video as planned. So the first person I think we potentially might see Nick Rodriguez up against is actually somebody that I really wasn't thinking about when I started to think about ideas for this video. However, I was listening to Nicky Rodriguez on Tim Welch's podcast yesterday, and Tim Welch asked him, he said, hey, what about a match against Pat Downey? When I first heard that, I was just like, okay, like, yeah, it's a cool match, but I don't know, I wasn't really like following. I was like, why? And then Nicky brought up, he said, yeah, well, we did have a wrestling match 4 years ago, and we haven't gone against each other in jiu-jitsu. Pat Downey did compete at CJI. Nicky and him didn't get to meet at CJI. And then I said, okay, maybe this is a realistic match. Pat Downey, not exactly known for being the quiet type, did take to social media and talk about how he thinks he got robbed in a decision against Adam Bradley. And if you guys are actually interested in that match, I'm going to be doing a match breakdown, so subscribe to get notified when that comes out. It's coming out very soon. But Pat Downey thinks he won that, and he specifically said he thinks he got robbed out of $990,000, and that Nicky Rodriguez won. So putting these two up against each other, there is some story there, right? It's not a huge story, but there is some story because Pat Downey's assuming he would have beaten Adam Bradley, beaten Nicky Rodriguez, and won the $1 million prize of CJI. So I say all this just to say that I think a match against Pat Downey could be more interesting than a lot of people think. I know the world still hasn't accepted Pat Downey as a jiu-jitsu guy, and I'd be lying if I said that when I think Pat Downey, I think jiu-jitsu, but who knows? It could be a good opportunity for Nicky Rod to get that win back. And yeah, I know it wasn't in the same sport, and who knows how much it actually means to Nicky Rod, but it could be a fun thing. And realistically, if Pat Downey's going to keep making noise about how he could have won CJI, well, okay, let's see how you do against the guy who won. So the next person I could see Nicky Rod potentially going against, somebody that probably makes a little bit more sense to most people watching this video than someone like Pat Downey, and that's Felipe Pena. So if you remember at ADCC 2022, Nicky Rod beat Felipe Pena on points, and then at Who's Number One in 2023, their the rematch, so to speak, Felipe Pena beat Nicky Rod in a decision, and that decision was kind of controversial to some people. Now, I'm not going to give my opinion on that. Maybe it's a future match breakdown, but the point is, I think because of those two things, I think because there was no decisive winner in that match, people I think would be interested in watching that. I think it would do a lot for both competitors if they were to win. Of course, Felipe could beat the guy who just won CJI. And, Nicky Rod, it's always good to have a win under your belt against someone like Felipe Pena. People, especially in the sport, know who he is. And if you look at Felipe Pena's ADCC run this year, I mean, it was pretty remarkable. He, in the first day, had 2 submission victories. Then he went against Gordon Ryan. And I know the narrative on their match was kind of that, oh, Gordon didn't look his best, but you have to give Felipe credit in that match. I mean, to be able to do that after 2 super high-level matches where he won is pretty incredible, and then not to mention, he went on to win gold. So having an ADCC champion versus the CJI champion, I think, that story right there writes itself. I think it's a great matchup stylistically. It's just a fun match to watch, and obviously I know that because we've watched it before. And I just think there's a lot of history between those two, and I think it would make for a pretty good match. And the third person that I think we could potentially see Nicky Rod go against in the near future is somebody who I think a lot of us really wanted to see him go against at CJI this year, but unfortunately that match did not happen, and that's Victor Hugo. Now, Victor Hugo was taken out early in CJI by Lucas Kennard with this crazy fast heel hook. One of the more impressive moments of CJI, Lucas Kennard came out there and he finished Victor Hugo, took him out of the tournament very quick, which I don't think a lot of people were expecting. And it was just super impressive. So I think this is a match that the people want to see. I know I'm one of the people, and I want to see this match. I think it's a match that would probably intrigue somebody like Nicky Rod. He's got a decision lost to him in 2020. He's got a decision lost to him in 2021. They haven't gone against each other in a couple of years. Both of them have developed so much in those years, and I just think that would be such a fun match to watch. And just a little bonus one here at the end, because I know people are going to bring it up. It was not somebody that I was considering when I was thinking of 3 people I want to see Nicky go against, but there's some history here, so why not bring it up? Nicky Rod versus Kynan. Now, I'm not sold that this needs to be the next match, but if you are, I would love to hear why in the comments. And with that being said, we are going to wrap it up here. We're going to keep this one short. Guys, let me know in the comments who you think Nicky Rod's going to go against next, and let me know who you think Nicky Rod should go against next. Sometimes those aren't the same thing. Also, let me know if you think this Nicky Rod versus Gordon thing's going to actually happen. If you guys are looking for more up-to-date BJJ and submission grappling news, go ahead and click subscribe. I've got more videos like this coming out. I've got match breakdowns. I've got a whole bunch of fun stuff in the works, so subscribe so you make sure you don't miss that. If you want to support the channel in other ways, you can follow me over on Instagram. That's at People Doing Martial Arts. Or if you want to support the channel in a little more direct way, you can head over to PDMAstore.com. That's going to be linked below. We've got t-shirts with this like alien logo. We've got hats with this alien logo. Alien, kind of my thing. We've got other hats like this one here, and got a bunch of cool stuff over there. PDMAstore.com. Everything will be linked below. And on that note, thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you next time.